The first one's out: why Black women's job losses are everyone's warning sign. Good evening, beautiful souls. I want to start tonight by introducing you to someone who has been doing the work, the real work, the kind that shifts systems and saves lives. Her name is Shameka Francis, and she is not just talking about economic justice for Black women. She is building it brick by brick, policy by policy, conversation by conversation. Shameka is the kind of leader who does not wait for permission to make the world better. She sees the cracks in the system, and instead of walking around them, she fills them in. She is a force, a truth teller, a bridge builder who refuses to let Black women be erased from the economic narrative. Tonight, I am honored to share the insights she gave me, insights that challenge everything we have been told about work, worth, and who gets left behind when the economy stumbles. Here is what Shameka helped me see, and I need you to sit with this for a moment. Black women's job losses, over three times the rate of all women in 2025, especially in federal education and care sectors, are not just economic fallout. They are a canary in the coal mine. They are a warning sign, a flashing red light telling us that something is deeply systemically broken in the broader economy. Because Black women, we prop up essential services, we teach your children, we care for your elders, we keep the gears of government turning. And yet, when the doors start closing, we are the first ones pushed out. Let me say that again. We hold up the weight of entire industries, and we face the widest exit doors during downturns. Now, I know some of you are thinking, well, that is just how recessions work. Everybody suffers. But here's the thing: not everybody suffers equally. And when Black women are losing jobs at three times the rate of all women, that is not a coincidence. That is a choice, a policy choice, a structural choice, a choice rooted in who we value and who we do not. Let me give you the numbers, because numbers do not lie, even when systems do. In 2025 alone, Black women lost 113,000 jobs. 113,000. In federal roles, we saw a 30% drop compared to 11.6% for all women. 30%. That is not a dip. That is a free fall. And this is happening in the middle of policies like federal cuts and tariffs that are squeezing the very sectors where Black women have historically found stability, education, care work, public service. Dr. Jennifer Turner, co author of a report from the Institute for Women's Policy Research, spent months analyzing 2025 data in Washington, D.C. She was not just crunching numbers, she was documenting a crisis. She spotlighted the fact that Black women accounted for over half of women's job losses during the most volatile months of 2025. Over half. And these were not just entry level positions, these were professional roles, service roles, roles that required degrees, certifications, years of experience, roles that Black women fought to get, only to watch them disappear under policy shifts that did not even pretend to care about equity. Dr. Turner did something powerful with her research. She framed Black women's experiences as economic warning signs, not just personal tragedies, but systemic failures that should alarm everyone. She pushed for protections in service industries. She amplified calls for reforms. She shaped national conversations on equity, pressuring policymakers to address racial gaps in job retention. Her work became a rallying cry, a data driven manifesto that said, if you are not paying attention to what is happening to Black women, you are missing the bigger economic collapse coming for all of us. And here is where it gets even more personal. By February 2026, Black women's unemployment rate rose to 7.1%. Compare that to 3.4% for white men. Let that sink in. 7.1 versus 3.4. That gap is not just a statistic, It is a story about who gets protected and who gets left behind. Jocelyn Fry, president of the National Partnership for Women and Families, said something during Women's History Month 2026 that I cannot stop thinking about. She said, women's economic opportunities are a policy choice, not an accident, not inevitable, a choice. And when we choose to cut federal programs, 330,000 jobs lost since 2024, when we choose not to pass paid family leave, when we choose not to protect workers in care industries, we are choosing to push Black women out of the labor market. Jocelyn has been doing this work for decades. Her advocacy traces the long arc of inequities that Black women face: high participation in the workforce, yet limited job quality due to racism and sexism. She has issued reports, made statements, influenced legislative pushes like the Healthy Families Act. She elevated the focus on marginalized women's workforce attachment, fostering broader policy progress. She is not just documenting the problem, she is building the solution, one policy recommendation at a time. But here's the counterintuitive truth that Shameka and these leaders are lifting up: Black women are not just victims of this crisis, we are also the solution. Because when you invest in Black women, when you create culturally inclusive jobs, when you build systems that actually see us, you do not just help Black women. You stabilize entire communities. You strengthen the economy. You signal to the market that equity is not optional, it is essential. Let me tell you about Jasmine T. Williams Jacobs. Jasmine is the founder of Black Remote She, a digital job board specifically for Black and queer professionals. When the 2025 job crisis hit, Jasmine did not wait for the government to fix it. She did not wait for corporations to suddenly care. She saw systemic exclusion from the labor market. She saw a lack of culturally inclusive jobs. She saw psychological safety issues for Black professionals in traditional workplaces. And she said, not on my watch. Jasmine built a platform that prioritized Black and queer talent, emphasizing remote roles to bypass the discriminatory hiring practices that keep us locked out of traditional workplaces. She created accessible pathways to employment when the doors were slamming shut everywhere else. And you know what? It worked, Black Remote. She became a go to resource during the layoffs, proving that targeted platforms can counter broader market failures. She advanced inclusive hiring practices, influencing digital job ecosystems for marginalized communities. Jasmine saw the gap and she filled it. That is what we do. That is what we have always done. But let us be clear: individual resilience, as beautiful and necessary as it is, cannot be the only answer. We cannot entrepreneur our way out of systemic inequality. We cannot side hustle our way past policies that are designed to exclude us. We need structural change. We need policies that protect workers in care industries. We need paid family leave. We need enforcement of anti discrimination laws. We need employers to invest in women's health and well being because when they do, performance improves. The Milken Institute found that women contribute 37% to global GDP, and yet we are still fighting for basic protections. 37%, let that marinate. Now, I want to talk about something that does not get said enough in these conversations: the emotional toll, the psychological weight. Because when you lose your job, especially when you are a Black woman who has been taught that you have to work twice as hard to get half as much, it is not just about the paycheck. It is about your identity. It is about your sense of worth. It is about the cape you have been wearing since you were a little girl, the one that says you have to be strong, you have to provide, you have to hold it all together no matter what. And when that job disappears, when that income stops, when you cannot pay the bills or help your kids or show up the way you have always shown up, it feels like failure, even though it is not. even though the system failed you, not the other way around. This is where the soft girl era comes in. This is where we have to give ourselves permission to release the cape, to say, I do not have to carry this alone, to say, my worth is not tied to my productivity, to say, I deserve rest, I deserve support, I deserve a system that actually works for me, not against me. Because here's the truth: softness is not weakness, softness is not giving up. Softness is the radical act of choosing yourself in a world that has always demanded you sacrifice yourself for everyone else. And let me be clear: choosing softness does not mean you stop fighting. It means you fight smarter. It means you set boundaries. It means you say no without guilt. It means you protect your peace as fiercely as you have protected everyone else. Dr. Turner's research, Jocelyn Fry's advocacy, of Jasmine's platform, these are all acts of softness and strength combined. They are saying, we see the problem, we are going to name it, and we are going to build something better. That is what it means to be soft in a world that taught you survival. It means you refuse to let survival be your only option. Shameka Francis reminded me that this fight is not new. Black women have been fighting for economic justice since before the Civil Rights Act, since before Title VII, since before the Equal Pay Act. And every gain we have made has been because someone refused to accept the status quo. Someone said, not on my watch. Someone built a platform, wrote a report, passed a law, started a movement. And now it is our turn. So here's my question for you tonight: what one policy or employer investment will you champion today to ensure Black women are not the first out the door in the next economic shift? Because your voice could rewrite the labor market for our community. Your advocacy could push your employer to create health programs that support Black women. Your vote could elect leaders who will pass paid family leave. Your platform could amplify the stories of women like Jasmine, Dr. Turner, and Jocelyn Fry. You have more power than you think. And the women coming behind you, your daughters, your nieces, your mentees, they are watching. They are waiting to see if we are going to keep accepting crumbs or if we are going to demand the whole table. Black women, we are not the problem. We are the solution. We are the canaries, yes, but we are also the architects, the builders, the visionaries. And when we thrive, when we are supported, when we are valued, everyone benefits. The economy stabilizes, communities flourish, the future gets brighter. So I am going to leave you with this: do not just listen to this talk and nod your head. Do not just feel inspired for a moment and then go back to business as usual. I need you to do something. I need you to educate yourself. Read the reports from the Institute for Women's Policy Research. Follow the National Partnership for Women and Families. Understand the data so you can speak truth to power. I need you to advocate. Talk to your employer about inclusive hiring practices. Support policies like the Healthy Families Act. Use your voice, your vote, your platform, and I need you to rest. Yes, rest. Because you cannot pour from an empty cup, and this fight is long. Give yourself permission to be soft, to be whole, to be human. The world we deserve, the one where Black women are protected, celebrated, and free, the one where our labor is valued, our health is prioritized, and our voices are heard. That world is not a fantasy, it is a blueprint. Shameka Francis is building it. Jasmine Williams Jacobs is building it. Dr. Jennifer Turner is building it. Jocelyn Fry is building it. And tonight, I am not just inviting you to build it with us. I am demanding it because we have carried this economy on our backs for too long. We have propped up systems that were never designed to protect us. We have been the first ones out, and we are done accepting that as normal. So let us stop being the canary that warns everyone else. Let us become the force that rebuilds the mind. Let us be the ones who say, never again. Let us be the generation that finally puts Black women first. The time is now. The choice is yours. What are you going to do?